So, hi everybody. I am here with Shaily. Shaily is one of our super hosts. I've known her for quite a few months now, and she's become a really, really great. Yeah, basically like a year, and she's become a really good friend at this point. And I'm excited for all of you to hear what she has to say. So, Shaily, if you could just introduce yourself real quick for everyone who doesn't know you.
Yeah. So my name is Shaily Hakimian. I run yoursocialmediashirk.com, helping business owners be unforgettable to their networks. I also help coach some 200 plus consultants on how to get more clients on LinkedIn using through the work of one of my clients, and that's actually one of the places where I use Toucan for one of the most coolest events ever online. And I'm just thrilled to be here. I love bringing people together. I love community building. I love meeting amazing people, and Toucan has been a tool for so many of these things, and I'm thrilled to be here.
Well, we're thrilled to have you, and as you all can see, Shaily just has the best energy of all time.
Oh.
So that's really why I love you. Please, can you tell us a little bit about how you found Toucan in the first place?
Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. So there's this guy, Baron. This guy Baron, right? He's like this 18, 19-year-old TikTok influencer guy, and all he did, he's a young kid, but he gets to interview all these big tech geniuses. He's always had the news on tech, and he's like, "There's this new company out." This is over a year ago, maybe. I don't know. I think it was from him that I got. I think he was like, "Oh, there's this new tool called Toucan, and it's vertical events platform," and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go check that out." So I did. And they're like, networking events every week at 2 p.m. Central Time. And I was like, I will go and I will meet people. And here we are. It kept going almost every week. It's like my
every week.
Station.
Can you,
so that's how it...
TikTok is the thing now. Just kind of, I guess, segueing into the Toucan community, like you mentioned, we have a Toucan social every single week, and you come every single week. Can you tell us what the Toucan community means to you and about the people that you've met and why you keep coming back?
Oh my gosh, it's really cool because I get to be a part of almost like the tech ecosystem without having to be in San Francisco or New York or Chicago. We've got a great tech ecosystem here too, but it's cool that I have access to people that I never would have bumped into in real life, and to see people building amazing products. I've gotten to go to meetups hosted by people who are part of the Toucan community, and just seeing with Kay and his whole community.
Mm-hmm.
There's a bunch of nice people I met through there, and it's phenomenal to be able to be a part of people who built such incredible institutions and products and companies, and it's just a good crew of badasses.
I couldn't agree more.
And the games. Oh my gosh, the games. Oh, should I get I have a Toucan hoodie. I should put that on right now. I've won some competitions on Toucan. It's a very fun. It's fun. It's a big party.
You are straight up one of the most competitive people I've ever met, and also rightfully so, because Shaily will kick anybody's butt at trivia. She knows everything.
I'm gonna say I knew some things, but when my team works hard, we all work together, and we kick its butt. But I will take credit for being everybody, here's how we're gonna strategize. We're gonna be fast with our answers, we're gonna shout it out in the thing, and I'm gonna repeat whatever answer is prominent. And they did. So, but I'm glad that I could help guide them to the victory and celebrate on that mantle. So, thank you.
She's confident and humble.
I do. I love it. Yeah.
Changing gears a little bit, can you tell us about some events that you've hosted on Toucan and how they've gone? And what kinds of events?
So this is crazy. So I know you got to pop in just for a few minutes on this event, but I got to tell you. So a client of mine, she coaches women on how to get more clients and how to do sales and all this amazing stuff. And we tried to do a holiday party in Chicago in person a few years ago, and COVID hit, and our people are all over the world. So it's let's do a Toucan. Let's make a Toucan. Because the people are obsessed with her. And they're all everywhere. And they love meeting people who are like them. And I was like, we should host an event for your client base and your referral base, whatever. So we had 80 kick butt consultants and coaches all in Toucan, right? And I thought about it like I produce events in real life. I said, okay, if everybody walks in, we're going to have a early bubble to start here to guide them into the other bubbles. And we had every bubble, like these blue bubbles where you can name and label. We had them with different things, like, oh, I'm an introvert, or oh, like, I like pizza, or like, do we really need to wear pants right now? Or like, let's talk about business, or let's talk like if we're all from Europe. And so throughout the event, we kept adding more bubbles, and you could see this mass migration of people going from one room to another and totally not like feeling comfortable and allowed to move around.
It's awesome.
We also like hosted on the God mic, like, you know, let's break the event down. So it's not just talking like you would on a Zoom call. It doesn't feel like a big lecture. It's like everyone's in their own little pod. They can like talk to each other while they're listening to their hero, which is a client of mine who does all this stuff. So she was blown away by the results. People left that party. I got a direct quote. It was like, this is the most like I felt like I was at a real life party in a very, very long time. And it melted my heart. And then for them to find out this is founded like by female founder on top of that, like, shoot, it doesn't matter if you feel whatever, it doesn't matter. You should just be like CEO. This like female CEO bullshit. But like they also were like, wow, this is cool. This is like a woman had a big hand in all of this, and it was a bunch of women in there. So anyway, you know the BS I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think that, you know, you had your hand in this, and what made this experience so great. So I'm glad you got to visit for like 5 minutes.
Thank you. And might I say that event completely blew my mind, and it still serves to this day. I thought that some of the labels on the spots, the meeting spots that you guys created, like these things that you guys can see around in the space, I use those as inspiration if people need like inspo for their meeting spots for conversation starters. I thought that you guys had some of the best ones, so I thought that was really fun, and everyone was so nice and excited and just happy to be there. So I thought that I was really grateful for that, and I'm glad that you invited me.
I'm so glad. I'm so thrilled, and I think the founder was like, she was so excited to meet you too. She's like, you're the one who built this. It's like, oh my gosh, I gotta thank you. So she was super excited.
Wow.
She felt like down her too. So I just love it. It's a great tool, but I also want to emphasize one of the things that people like. I want people to realize is the app is a brilliant tool, but you still have to be an event coordinator. You still have to use all the skills that people who host real life events use. So you have to make sure people feel welcome. You have to make sure people feel comfortable from moving the bubble to bubble. You have to think about your introverts. You have to think about like what's their first experience getting out here. How do you make sure they're not intimidated with this technology they've never seen before? Which, thank goodness, this is the easiest. This is super easy, but like some people might be really nervous, right? Yeah. And so that's the other thing. You don't have to think like a host that you can't just rely on the tool to do the work for you. You have to leverage it in a way that enhances what you already know works. And it's brilliant. And that's any tool. But this tool makes it so easy. So big fan.
Thank you. Do you have any tips? That's a really great point. Do you have any tips for how people, maybe first-time hosts, can make sure that people feel comfortable and welcome within the space?
Absolutely. So one of the ones we've talked about, and I think you've used a whole bunch, is the Start Here room. One of the things that, like, if there's people who are just randomly walking in, if you have like 5 people that are randomly floating around who are lost and confused, every minute they're in there, they're like, I don't know what's going on. Unless you have like 5 greeters set up, which having a greeter, highly recommend. Unless you have 5 greeters going around and jump into their bubbles and be like, hey, welcome to the event, go here. Like, it's very hard to like say that whole spiel like very quickly. So if I have a Start Here room and you have a designated person from your organization in there for the event, they can say, hi, welcome, I'm so-and-so from the organization. I'm so thrilled to have you here. I'm going to be here the whole night to make sure that you're having a great time. That makes them feel less alone because they can always ping you. Letting them know that they can ping you and say, hey, up to you. You can go jump around the rooms and meet new people and blah, blah, blah. And if they want to just stay there because they're a little nervous, it's not a bad thing. So that's something huge. Or whoever the leader is going to speak on the big microphone, like, they have to, you know, if you can remind people, like, move around. Don't feel bad. We're going to have new groups. If you want to switch it up, switch it up. I think the more you can model it as a leader of what you want people to do, the less fear the participants will have, especially if they're nervous going to, like, an event where they have to guide their own conversation. So that's another thing.
Those are great points.
Right, yeah, those are some of the hottest and yeah, use the chat, too. Like, get people to answer questions as a group. It is awesome. It's a great tool.
All really, really good points. I think that something that gets lost in these virtual conferencing tools, especially traditional virtual conferencing tools, is making people feel good. And that's really the goal of Toucan, period. But sometimes it takes a little bit of effort. I mean, as it would in an in-person event, to make people feel comfortable in a space
100%.
at all.
100%. It's the same skill set.
Mm-hmm.
If you think you're going to fire your event planner because you found Toucan, you're mistaken. You want to keep every event planner on your team because they will know how to take this to levels you've never imagined.
Yeah. I'm curious, what virtual tools were you using before you found Toucan? And how is Toucan different?
Oh, this is great. So this is not Zoom. It's different than Zoom, for sure. Can you do things that you do on Zoom on here? Sure. So originally when COVID hit, everybody was like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I had this great contact who is like a super networker. She loves hosting events. She's like, how can I get my like annual party to like transfer onto Zoom? And so with all this research that we did, we found out that you could make everyone co-host on Zoom and people can choose their breakout room. Now Zoom has since made this feature a lot less hacky, but we did that so that people can choose their rooms in a way that's like a janky version of Toucan, essentially, on Zoom. And we did it, and so I wrote up a whole description on how to do this on my blog and my personal website of like how to make connections during COVID and beyond. And so that was cool, but like again, it was like a little janky, and she had to also have a greeter at the door to be like, which room would you like to go to? And so then I used that with some of my group, so it was a whole thing. So I used that a little bit. I think to like a bunch of these like digital like use the like little character ones, and I don't think any of them get it. Like Online Town, like there's a million of them that are just like online. I think Gather is like that. And it's just, I don't think anybody's ever been enthusiastic about it. I think it's like a gimmick, but then half the time it's like, well, how do I get my guy? Like, I don't want to focus on that. I want to talk to people, and I don't want it to be complicated. And here's Toucan. It's like, I exist. Here we go. I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna like. It's just, it's brilliant. Like, I love it. I love like see faces and just jump in. Like, there's no BS gimmick. It takes away all the junk. Oh, I love the love and the hearts. I love it.
We got it. We gotta show some love for the hearts and the waves. Hearts and waves, ladies. I think those are all excellent points too. That's something that we're considering is we want people to put themselves forward and not have to worry about too much. Just trying to make everything as simple as possible.
Yes, and none of these other platforms have made it so simple now. This new feature where you can put your like, you can put your like LinkedIn, you can put a bio in there. Like that's cute. Like I'm into it. So
that's one of my favorite features. That's like hands down. I think that's the most fun because you get to learn fun facts about people. You can make it a joke. You can make it serious. You can stick emojis in there. You have your social media so you can follow up with people.
So this is the other thing. This is right. This is totally right. It was a good move. When I go to in-person networking events, there's only so much I can look at a person and be like, are they my customer? Are they somebody I need to meet? Are they super cool? Do they have a cool company? Like, what? Like, there's only so much I can glean off of just looking at someone. And here, I can now get a little contact, see their whole LinkedIn profile, and be like, oh, you know the same person that I did, right?
Yeah, there we go.
It's amazing, right?
I've seen you do that in person, like in real time. You just met some random new person who came to the Toucan social, and you jumped on her LinkedIn, you checked out who you had connections with, you talked about those people that you had who were your mutual connections, and I thought that was a great way of getting to know someone.
Yes, can I tell you? This is the crazy. It still blows my mind to this day. I don't think what's his face. He was just here the other day. So like I was at the Toucan, like I don't know, it was in January or something, and I see this guy and I look at his profile. I'm like, oh, you know Susan. Susan's part of this community that my client runs. And I'm like, and so I like talk to him like, oh, how do you know Susan? I'm like, oh, Susan's actually the one who told me about Toucan. I'm like, well, where did Susan hear about Toucan? From my client. Where did my client hear about Toucan? From me. And I was like, you're here because of me in like a lot of ways. And he was like, oh, that's interesting. That was so funny. And I'm like, it's cool to see like how information disseminates and how that got him here.
You're an influencer.
Love it.
That's what it is. You're an influencer.
Yeah. I mean, I even tell this to people like you never know how influential someone is. You can have 1 million followers, but like you don't know how powerful their network is outside of whatever conversation you're having. And those are the kind of people with my business, I love to serve those people because it doesn't look like it on the internet, but like they can make things happen, right?
For sure.
So
talking about features, I mean, we already talked about the like About Me card.
Yeah.
What are your other favorite features on Toucan?
Oof, what else do I really love? Okay, so here's the other one. I love that, like, it's horrible that I love this, but I love that y'all thought about this, and this is like an early feature too. So let's say someone's on the stage and they're talking, right? Like, you know, if you were a kid in school, you can whisper and be like, oh, I like the speaker. I mean, it's probably not the nicest thing to do, but now, without interrupting the speaker, you could be in a bubble. You and I could be talking and shooting the shiz, and we could like lower the volume of the main speaker and have a conversation amongst ourselves, or like laugh together like we're at a movie. And I think that's so nice because I might not want to listen to the whole speaker the whole time, or I might have a comment that like, oh, I really like what he's saying, and it's like, yeah, like that's cool. You could do that without having to feel awkward or whispering. And then you can, if you want to listen to the speaker directly, you can just leave and go to like your own little by yourself bubble and do what you want. So
true.
I like that I can do that. You can't do that in real life.
Not really.
As somebody who needs like talking energy, like it gives me permission to do that.
I mean, I don't think that it's awful that that's one of your favorite ones because you have hit on both of my favorite features, which is the turning down the volume on the presenter and the About Me card, because I think those are the coolest parts of Toucan, personally.
Yeah.
What would you like to see come next?
Oh man, what do I want to see come next? I mean, I don't know if I'm so worried about this. I don't think this is your direction as a company, but like you could essentially make your own clubhouse using a Toucan room. Now, does that mean that Toucan needs to be the reason that happens? No, I think some cool fringy community can come in and make their own room feature and have that created. I think it's a funny use that is possible. Like if an organization has like 5,000 members, you can just jump into like their online bar at any time. That could be cool, but again, moderation. This is not, I don't think this is Toucan's battle, but I think somebody could do it, and I kind of want to see it happen.
Okay. Fair enough.
But like, one thing that I think would be cool. The other thing, like a start here button could be good for any host, something permanent that already exists potentially, but I don't know. I think that's just something that makes it a lot easier if someone's by themselves. Like something that can do the greeting for me before I even get to them would be really nice. Like, hey, are you new? Like, I don't know, without being like a to-do list or like a blog, like something really like when they walk into the room, I don't know, maybe it's a video of like, hey, like you're in a bubble. Like the first bubble is actually a thing. I don't know. There's got to be a simple, non-tech invasive way for me as a host to do that. Maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of goodness. I'm sure it's going to, whatever's going to come out is going to be way better than anything I can imagine. If anybody doesn't know, I think this team, I don't know, I don't see the inside of the team, but I assume you all jive really well because there's no way this product would be this stunning without you all being cohesive.
Oh, and like, thank you.
Being wise out. I just have a feeling.
You know all of us. I mean, you've met basically the whole team, and you know how cool everybody is, and everyone's so talented and smart.
Come to the happy hours. Come to the hangouts.
I know.
Socials. Come to the socials.
Anybody who's watching this, if you want an invite to our weekly social where you can hang out with me and you can hang out with Shaily, then just message me or message Shaily. We'll make it happen.
Yeah. But I don't know if you know, Antonia like 8 people in one, so you can message her and she'll get back like brilliantly.
Oh, please. Maybe that just means that I'm spending too much time on social media.
Oh, no, I you should not know my data on how much I've been on TikTok this week is.
You do social media. That's your job. You got to be good.
I'm doing it for work. It's all for business. So
of course.
It's what I have to do to keep business in line. You know, I got to watch 10 hours of TikTok, you know?
Obviously.
Socializing, right? Paul hit on this. It's socializing on the internet, and you all have made a tool to make that easier. That's brilliant.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And I guess I have one last question. We've already kind of dabbled in this, but
I'm open.
Do you have any advice for first-time hosts beyond what we talked about like, you know, making people feel comfortable, but anything else you want to share?
this is the biggest one. It's going to go back to the point I made earlier about like use your event coordinators because if you're just thinking, oh, I'm going to bring my group on here, and you're just going to say, hey, just come to the event without testing it, that is a mistake. You got to try it out. Get like 5 of your best members or people that you trust. Just come and try it out. Try to make a mock version of the event. Make sure that your buttons are working as you plan. I told a friend about this, who I love and adore. It's absolutely wonderful. And I told him, you should test this out. And I told him it's not like Zoom. And in his mind, his events operate with like everyone's face being seen at the same time, just like you can do on Zoom. And I told him that that wasn't something that was possible here. And he didn't test it out to make sure that he could do what he wanted to do. And so when he couldn't see everyone's faces on here and he couldn't test ahead of time, it made for a really awkward moment when people came in here. They were like so excited to use the platform, but because he didn't have that feature that he could have tested ahead of time, it changed the opportunity from what it like from something that would have been a really fun event to like, oh wait, this doesn't work. This is broken. Like it's not broken. It's just you have to know how to use it. So that's really important. Just know it. Like you can't see everyone's faces, but it's not meant for that. If you wanted to do a Zoom. But there's something magical that people can be intimate and choose who they want to talk to, and that's nice. So test it out to know exactly what you want people to experience. Because if you don't, you might miss something that can be crucial before you start inviting your entire network. People are willing to try something new once, maybe twice. So try it your best. Try to build as much trust as possible that people are open to keep trying it again. And that's everything. That's how I did it with my client. I made sure to test everything, and that's why we had such a wonderful event. And we learned so much from that, and hopefully we'll do another holiday party this year too.
I mean, that's really important advice, and I think that it goes for any software or any food or any sort of experience. Is there needs to be that trust, and we try and make it as easy as possible. But it is really people like you and people like our Superhosts who really bring people onto Toucan and explain all of the nitty gritty details because you're a pro at all of this. And I think that that's what really gets people excited is once they feel like they have all of the inside information. So that's why it's so important to come onto Toucan with other people.
Yes, you got to make it really simple for folks. It is. Here's the thing: y'all have done the work. Y'all have made this really simple. It's not even that we have to educate on. It's just again, it's that trust, making people feel comfortable. They're on something new. They're going to be on edge, whether you've built this brilliantly easy, which you have, or not. So, telling them that it's okay sometimes makes a huge difference. So, thank you for making something so incredible with such amazing people. You should be so proud of yourself. This is incredible. Take the credit.
Thank you.
People involved, but take the credit. You're incredible, and all the things that have come with this, amazing.
Thank you so much. And with that, that was my final question. Shaily, I'm so happy that I got to talk to you today. Thank you so much for sitting down with me, and I will see you next Thursday.
Oh, maybe I'm on a retreat. I'm gonna have to maybe.
No.
In spirit. Maybe I'll take my hoodie with me.
Okay.
Like wear the Toucan hoodie. Like yes, I should wear it. But more adventures to come. I'm mostly at most of the Toucan social, so I'm looking forward to meeting folks. Nice, casual, fun, welcoming environment.
Well, maybe not next Thursday, but the Thursday after that.
Few Thursdays away. At the end of the month, Thursday.
Be there at one of the next Toucan socials to hang out with Shaily.
They'll love it no matter what. Even I always tell people that are like my networkers, I was like, just come for 5 minutes, you can leave. Like I know you have a busy schedule, just take 5 minutes and just look at this. And they're all like, like they're just like they found like the new way of life. So
oh my gosh.
Tell your people 5 minutes, you can always leave.
That's true. But people want to stay. That's what I've experienced in the past. Anyway, thank you again, Shaily. It's always a pleasure. You are a ray of sunshine, and I will talk to you very soon.
Yes, same.
Bye.
Bye.